My name's Alice. I'm from Parents' Voice. Before I begin, I'd like to acknowledge the traditional custodians of the land that I'm speaking from today, the Wurundjeri people. So Parents' Voice is based in Melbourne on Wurundjeri land, obviously, and we are a network of parents. Sorry, could I get the next slide? I've jumped ahead. There we go. A movement of parents taking action to improve food and physical activity environments for children. So we're co-funded by Diabetes Victoria and Vic Health, but we have a national committee and a national remit to be addressing these issues with our network of parents. I'm talking today about unhealthy food marketing, which is one of the key issues that Parents' Voice works on. Consistently, when we survey our members, unhealthy food marketing ranks at the top of the issues that concern them in the space of food environment and physical activity for children. Children deserve to grow up in a world that is free from the influence of unhealthy processed food companies and that supports their well-being and their health. But these unhealthy processed food companies spend millions of dollars every year to target ads of their products directly to children. And here on the screen, we've got a couple of examples of ads that are, the first one being, it's a big community event sponsored by Coca-Cola. The one in the middle, the supermarket is proudly claiming that they're free from confectionery in this particular location, but we can see that's clearly not the case. And the one on the right combines sugary drinks and digital marketing together in a cross promotion that greatly, absolutely targets children with ads for those products. So, and they do this because they know it works. They know that it drives consumption and behaviour, and it associates them in the lives of children in a regular part of their diet and their life, which then leads into adulthood. We know 1 in 4 Australian children are above a healthy weight, and about 40% of an average child's daily intake is coming from unhealthy processed discretionary foods. So kind of just a couple of examples of how we know that this sort of advertising is working. In Australia, the government doesn't set the standard for unhealthy marketing to children. It's loosely controlled by a range of self-regulatory codes. So basically the food industry is setting their own rules and their own guidelines, their own standards around unhealthy food marketing to children. So here is a very kind of stark example of a company that says they don't market to children. And you can see quite clearly here that it's not the case. Luckily, this is actually an example of how the advocacy work that Parents' Voice does actually led to some change. We got this particular water slide scrapped because we led a bit of a public campaign and pointed out quite rightly that this directly contradicted the statements that the company themselves made. So every year Parents' Voice does a campaign called Fame and Shame, where we collect examples and parents nominate them over the year of marketing to children. We collate them and then we put them together as a big grouping under a couple of different categories for parents to vote on to kind of crown the worst of the worst. So I thought I'd show you a couple of examples to show how clearly that unhealthy food marketing is literally the wallpaper of kids' lives, that it's everywhere. So here we've got examples here of the proliferation of McDonald's advertising in the AFL. So it's across a lot of the teams. They sponsor the junior, some of the junior programs, including the Kick to Kick after the game, that has a whole lot of nostalgia in adults' lives, that Kick to Kick, and it's not at every game anymore, but if it is, it's sponsored by McDonald's. And so they kind of sponsor across the leagues and various teams. You can see here Cadbury is a sponsor of a whole lot of the women's teams, kind of getting in a sense in the ground floor, but really showing that it's kind of everywhere across professional sport. Basically, I just wanted to touch very briefly on digital marketing to children. It's everywhere. It's really hard to see as a parent. So it's the ads before your YouTube videos, and then these examples that quickly scrolled across. were social media. So this is a Snapchat filter. This one here is you could order a personalized Coke using Alexa. And the one that was the Milo was on TikTok. So it's literally everywhere that kids are online. And these are just 3 discrete examples from the finalists for this digital category in our Fame and Shame last year. So this isn't the totality. I just wanted to say today is a really good day to be talking about unhealthy food marketing to children. The Obesity Policy Coalition launched a big report this morning called Brands Off Our Kids, calling on governments to set better standards to protecting children and putting their health ahead of profits of these companies. So I would recommend you check that out or head over to our website.